Workers at this vineyard in Sonoma County rushed to harvest 10 tons of grapes off the vine late at night. That's because the second largest fire in California history was burning just 1 mile away.
Oh, wow, that's getting close. That just came up, huh? Yeah, that's scary.
This isn't a typical pick because the grapes aren't really ripe enough.
It's a scene that's unfolding across California's wine industry. In recent years, winemakers have been forced to make a difficult decision: salvage what they can before smoke ruins their grapes, or lose the crops and hope insurance will cover the losses. Since August 15th, over 1.6 million acres in California have burned, an area about the size of the entire state of Delaware. Scientists say this year could likely mark the state's worst ever wildfire season. It's a devastating sequel to 2019, when the season's worst fire, Kincaid, destroyed over 100 buildings, including local landmarks like the Soda Rock Winery in Healdsburg.
Yeah, it's just a larger question of what's gonna happen going forward. This is 3 out of 4 years now that we're doing this.
And as the fires burn, there are fears that the ongoing coronavirus pandemic could spread among agricultural workers. In a normal year, the end of summer would mark the beginning of harvest in wine country. Nearly 15 million tourists visit Sonoma and Napa counties annually, pumping about $4 billion into wineries, hotels, and restaurants.
Right now is the most critical time for the industry and our business and our county. Our county depends on agricultural, specifically grapes, wine grapes, and wine growing. And so if we're unable to do that or execute that because of weather or whatever it is, that's going to have a dramatic effect on this community.
Ross Reedy has worked in the wine industry for 12 years as a wine grower and a winemaker. He's seen how fires have changed the landscape over the years.
10 years ago, I remember walking through a vineyard and looking at it and say, oh yeah, we've got 2 weeks, until that's ready. And you can pick based on ripeness and, the physiology of the grape. Now, the past 3 or 4 years, it's like, oh, okay, well, fire's still 20 miles out, the wind's moving the opposite direction. Okay, I got another week, In
the vineyards, the actual threat from fire is low. In fact, fields like this one are typically a good fire defense for the buildings they surround. It's smoke that is the problem.
The reason for that is something called smoke taint. So, if you have smoke that sits in a vineyard over a period of time, it latches onto the skins and the sugar. It actually creates very heavy barbecue, ashtray kind of characteristics in the wines. Depending on what the winds do and what this fire does, there's a real big chance that we're not going to be able to harvest fruit this year, which would be really bad.
Some vineyards are just one lost crop away from their business coming to an end.
First of all, it hurts the grower. This particular grower has insurance. It'll cover his costs. So basically, he doesn't make any money this year. He limps along. If he was in dire straits, could potentially ruin, kill his business.
Hotter, drier conditions are becoming part of a new normal in California. Although last year, the Kincaid fire started because of faulty electrical equipment, this year's combination of a searing heat wave and rare summer lightning storms have kicked off what scientists predict could be a catastrophic fire season. Winemakers are trying their best to adapt, but there are many complications. The power at Emmett Scorsoni Wines was out for 1 week.
We evacuated from here, we got out what we could. We knew at some point the power would be cut. The immediate concern is the temperature control in our cellar. We had no time at all to plan a full evacuation of 150 barrels of wine, so we decided we had 1 truckload. We took our 6 most expensive barrels to hope for the best.
Last year, the 100-year-old Soda Rock Winery was destroyed by the Kincaid fire. They were able to reopen, but the future of the business remains uncertain.
Well, what a weird season, huh?
Some vineyards have crop insurance, but it rarely covers all losses. That puts growers like Ross in a bind. harvest what they can and risk that the wine made from them will have an unpleasant smoke flavor, or let them rot on the vine and file an insurance claim. And it means asking field workers to brave rough conditions in the midst of an ongoing pandemic. A July study revealed that California agricultural workers are 3 times more likely to contract the virus compared to workers in other sectors. Corazon Healdsburg, a local nonprofit, has been distributing food since the pandemic began. Today, they are doing free COVID testing for the community. Many here are agricultural workers and families.
So for those who work in the vineyards, many commute together for work, many live together in the same households or in communal bunkhouses. If somebody is infected with COVID, that could really have a huge impact on the whole operation. And so that's why this testing is so important right now. Okay, so you're just gonna wait right here. We are seeing a disproportionate impact of COVID on our Latino community. I think it is exacerbated by the working conditions and living conditions of the Latino community here.
Despite these challenges, winemakers are taking steps to protect their workers and their grapes. Organizations are providing safety information on fires and COVID, and labs are being set up to test for smoke taint in grapes. But many growers like Palmer Emmett of Emmett Scorsoni Wines are optimistic about the industry's future.
Hopefully this is not going to be an annual occurrence, but Sonoma County and the wine industry are very resilient as a whole, and I think we'll survive and keep chugging.
In the wee hours of Sunday morning, Ross Reedy's crew finished their emergency pick.
It is now 1:30. We're back at the winery and just brought all this fruit back. It's been a pretty wild day. We got about 10 tons of rosé of Zinfandel out of Dry Creek. And it's not ideal. We would have loved to have turned this into a still red wine, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Tomorrow is a new day, a whole new set of circumstances that are going to be difficult to navigate through, but that's the way it goes right now.